Welcome back to Lodge Life. We're here at Good Hope Cannery, a private fishing lodge tucked away in the heart of Rivers Inlet, British Columbia, in the Great Bear Rainforest. I'm Jenny, the lodge chef, and for half the year, this is home, where we cook for guests, explore the wild, and share the daily rhythm of life on the coast. From fishing and wildlife to staff adventures at Wadhams with the dogs. This is Lodge Life. As the season moves along into August, the guides are busy with last-minute details, scrubbing boats, checking gear, and making plans for the guests who are about to arrive. Some groups come with special requests or requirements, and the team works together to make sure everything is ready. Kevin ties leaders while showing Jordan his method, a reminder that even the smallest details matter here. Guest arrival is always an exciting time. Many who come through our doors are strangers at first, but there's always familiar faces and special groups that we look forward to, like the Hawaiians. Lunch is now served before heading out fishing for the afternoon. Some head out towards the open ocean, some stay here in the inlet, but they all return in time for dinner. But a true full guest day starts around 5 a.m. Randy's just finishing up now and has prepared something for everyone. From full hot spread to lighter cold options and a sandwich station where you can pack snacks for the day. And while guests are eating, Ted is already on the boat preparing bait. The plan is to head up to the top of the inlet and search for a tai, the legendary spring salmon of Rivers Inlet. On this particular morning, I've been invited to join Rick Hansen on his boat, Everyone Everywhere. It's fully outfitted to accommodate people in wheelchairs, making the experience accessible to all. We push away from the dock in the soft mist of the morning. The air is calm and the water's glassy, and as we leave the lodge behind, I feel a quiet excitement. It's a rare chance to step away from the busy rhythm of the kitchen, and I'm looking forward to spending the day out on the water. We arrive at the head, and Ted sets the lines. There's already quite a few boats here, trolling in the fog. Pretty soon, Anthony's on a fish.
That fast if I net you.
I can easily blow something out, Rick.
The guides are quick to bring it in, carefully laying it out on a special mat so that the fish isn't harmed. A quick photo, and then it's released back into the inlet.
Good job.
Not long after, we land our first pink salmon of the day. The first of many. Out here with Ted Walkus, it feels like every boat we pass has a story. He knows almost everyone out here on the water. On the fish finder, the screen lights up with marks, big signals that the tai we're after are swimming below us right now. The day rolls on with more pinks. Catch and release, one after the other, and all of the other boats are all in the same boat. The fog hangs low, the conversation drifts easy, and the rods keep bouncing. Ted keeps busy as our guide while we relax. He baits all the hooks and keeps an eye on all the rods. He even catches fish. Rick's got the right idea, staying warm and caffeinated. Then finally we come across something worth keeping. an eagle feather. Rick's like, what the hell's happening?
We're gonna hit the rocks.
You know, I was super lucky because I had this dear friend named Calvin Agano, one of the best sport fishing guides, you know, in the coast of British Columbia. And he loved fishing everywhere, but he kept telling me about this special place at Rivers Inlet. And then unfortunately, he was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer, and it was not long before he was going to pass. And he asked me if I would come up, and I said, of course. And he introduced me to Ted Walkus, the hereditary chief here, who was working at Good Hope Cannery with Tony Allard, and they invited me and two friends to come up and witness this special, incredible location. And the legend of Rivers Inlet unfolded as I got to know Ted, and he told me about his family and his community, his nation, and the history with the fish, and how these huge chinook salmon had been decimated over the years, and he was hoping to find a rally cry to help them recover. And we fished all day and we didn't even get a bite, and that night we had dinner, and we said, you know, if they're that challenged, then let's make a toast that if we get a fish over 50 pounds, then we're going to spend and dedicate 5 days of our year to help create a recovery plan for Ted, his nation, and the fish. And of course, well, there we were the next morning, and we were on his boat, and there's only one place I could actually sit in my wheelchair. He's got like 6 rods out, and here my rod, not anyone else's, my rod goes like that and buries, and then 40 minutes later, after trying everything I could to lose this fish, by error and mistake, it came in and it was netted, and that fish ended up becoming a 60-pound chinook. And when it came into the boat, you know, Ted, sacrificed that fish, and he said, this is for our nation and for the recovery, because it will be a rally cry at our lodge and hopefully around the world. And he broke into tears. He said he'd been praying to his ancestors that I would come, and that something good would come for the community and for the fish. And the 2 seasoned friends who were avid fishermen were in tears, and so was I. And it was just this moment of destiny, and I can't imagine the good that would have come from that. It was incredible. And here we are today, coming back year in and year out to see the progress, the recovery of the fish, to see the sense of community that's come together, and the pride that's been reignited in the Iwikino Nation, and that's going to be a legacy for future generations. And I just love this place, and I love the adventure, the sense of being connected to nature, and the chance to meet really cool folks along the way, like yourself, and also to be reunited with old friends and share the day, the experience, and being at Good Hope and at Rivers Inlet.
It was so great hanging out with these guys today in such a beautiful place. But it's time to head back to the lodge for lunch. All the boats are arriving just in time, and Raymond, our dockhand, is there to greet them. He'll help them with their gear and bring fish up to the gut house where the guides gather to clean and pack it all for the freezer. Meanwhile, I'm in the kitchen getting lunch ready. Today it's fish and chips. After years of cooking out here, I finally landed on a batter that I really love. The recipe is simple: 1 cup of all-purpose flour, half a cup of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a cold can of club soda. I doubled the recipe and I had enough to feed 35 people. I cook the fish in small batches so that it doesn't all stick together. And in about 4 minutes, the batter is golden brown and super crispy. Lunch is now ready, and I think everyone will be really happy. Except for us cooks. We're all craving a bowl of macaroni today, and so was Ray. At 12:30, we serve the guests lunch, and soon they'll be preparing for another afternoon out in the inlet. It's another beautiful sunny day here in Rivers Inlet. It's going to be a nice, relaxing afternoon. Or is it? Let's head to Open Bite for a beach barbecue. We take turns climbing onto Tinny, our trusty little welded aluminum skiff.
Save the banjo. That's right. Yeah.
It shuttled us and all of the gear into shore while the Good Hope boat stayed anchored out. Time to take our shoes off and start hauling everything onto the beach. Here comes our protection, who will be making sure we stay safe on this wild BC beach, because we're here for a good time. And here comes Catherine in the heli. One of my favorite things about this spot are the hidden trails that lead you to another beach. I love slipping off my shoes and feeling the earth on my feet. The soft moss, cool wood, sometimes a slug or two. The second beach is always worth visiting. It's so quiet, with piles of driftwood scattered across the sand. This year the shoreline is covered in kelp. And among these kelp beds are a couple people from our group paddleboard fishing. And back on the beach, there's some games starting. And it's time to start preparing the salmon and the cedar sticks for the fire. The last of the guests are joining us now, and they brought some bulk help with them. You'll see what that's used for later. Dinner time came quickly. The salmon doesn't take long, only about an hour beside the fire, and before we knew it, the feast was ready. We had corn, potato salad, fresh fruit, and cheeses laid out. It all came together into the perfect little beach buffet. Everything tasted so good after a long day by the water. After dinner, Peter hosted his famous fish talk, where he handed out coins and pins to guests who had released a tyee that day. There's something special about receiving one of these. It's not just a reminder of the incredible catch, a chinook over 30 pounds, but also of experiencing it in one of the most beautiful places in Canada. We listened to everyone sharing their stories from the day, each one unique and exciting. And then it was time for dessert. Roasted marshmallows over a fire to make s'mores. When it comes to summer desserts, there's not much better than that. As the evening wound down, it was time for a group photo before packing up the boats with all of our gear.
That was a flop!
Okay, the hard part's over. Let's get back onto the boat, get warm, and get back to the lodge. The ride home was pure magic. The whole day replaying in my mind. There's such a good feeling knowing everything came together so smoothly. We pulled it off as a team, and the guests had an amazing time. Before long, we're back at the lodge. Time to unload the gear and settle in for the evening. We'll clean up all this mess tomorrow. You may have wondered what the bull kelp was for on the beach. Well, this is it. The kelp bong. Not only do you get a coin or a pin for a tyee release, you also get a kelp bong. Here's Angel on her first tyee of the season. This and the following sequence of footage is all taken by Kaikea, one of our guests from Hawaii.
Oh yeah, good one, Kev.
These were little bits of his experience.
There you went. Yep, kicked off good.
Wow.
What an absolutely amazing experience they had. Thank you, Kaikea, so much for sharing that. Now let's finish up this day with Kaikea and his sister Alohi's cowboy-themed birthday party. The staff all did their best, especially John, to dress the part. So many guests have come and gone, some by boat, some by plane, and some by helicopter. No matter how they got here, they all share the same excitement. Everyone comes for different reasons, and we are happy to host them all, especially when we have a little water fight in the kitchen. Sometimes there's even diving trips where guests can get a peek into the vibrant Pacific Ocean. It's so much more colorful and full of life than I expected. Meanwhile, I'm back in the kitchen, preparing dinner as the guests return from their afternoon on the water. Raymond brings up the day's catch again, and the guides are back to work cleaning up the fish. And right on cue, during our busiest part of the day, the barge is here. While that's happening, charcuterie goes out for the guests. Whether they're relaxing upstairs in the lounge or soaking up a beautiful evening outside. Then it's time to plate dinner. John has been right here by my side all summer, and together we've plated every single dinner for over 40 days straight. It's been so great having him on our team. Our wonderful servers then take the food out and take care of our guests, making sure every evening feels special. On the last night, for some groups, we'll head down to the games room. There's foosball, shuffleboard, darts, ping pong, and cornhole. The perfect way to wrap up their stay. And then, far too quickly, it's time for goodbyes. The frozen fish is packed onto the plane and the hardest part begins, saying goodbye. Not just to the people, but to the dogs. It's been such an incredible season here, and what I've shared with you is only a glimpse of the adventure we've had. I want to thank my channel members for your continued support, and everyone here. Thank you so much for watching, and take care until next time.